There is this underlying element of story, maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, called the hero's journey. It's how we take our identity back from the world. So for example, Harry Potter, his parents are killed, he goes off into the wizarding world, he fights down his demon, then he later becomes the full version of himself. I mean, we've all heard these stories before. Only it's also part of who we are. It's a part of our own identity. We can project ourselves onto the world around us and then try to change the world around us to change who we are. Now, I don't know what this is called, trying to do this, trying to reconcile with yourself outside of yourself through success, material possessions, likes, I don't know. But it's a big part of who we are, and it's not something we really have a treatment for or a diagnosis of. It's just this underlying psychological construct of who we are. And it's something that can be quite challenging to explain because your mind won't tell you that you're doing it. And even as you're watching this video, you're deriving your own meaning from what I'm saying, and it won't quite sit emotionally with you the way it does with me. And what I've learned is your ability to get through things, your ability to deal with the difficulty inside, whether it's traumatic experiences or facing who you are or coming to terms with things in the past, helps you through that journey. That inner turmoil, that inner strength helps guide you through your own hero's journey, so you can take your identity back from the world and live as your full self. And having gone on this journey, having taken my identity back from the world, it's tough. It's really tough. It can take a long time. There can be a lot of different steps, different processes, and then this idea of repair as well. If you've lost time to trauma, difficulties, not knowing, maybe you live for other people, it shows in your inner world, and sometimes you can't see it, which is challenging in itself. This idea of this almost invisible world that you've lost to, a part of yourself that you didn't really understand or didn't really know about. But the good news is, making this video, putting it on YouTube, I've come to learn there's this underlying law of YouTube. You have to be your authentic self, and you have to show people really who you are. So just by watching these videos, by listening to my voice, I hope you're going to become slightly stronger in who you are, slightly more capable of dealing with the turmoil, the difficulty. Maybe you'll finish watching this video and then go and make that telephone call. You'll speak to that person, you'll say the thing that has to be said, because in understanding who you are, in self-discovery, you have to face things, trying to build things, layer over them, run away from them. In my opinion, I don't think that works. You have to somehow get inside of who you are, your authentic inner self. And I hope just by saying these words, by making this video, I'm somehow communicating who I am and the difficulties I've been through to get to making this video and then passing on this knowledge. Now, I'm not making this video claiming I have the answers or that I'm the best, but dealing with inner difficulties, inner child's trauma, yeah, it's real. And out the other side comes something you can't imagine, because your mind is blocking off that imagination because of the stuff inside. Now, I'm not a neuroscientist or a psychologist or a doctor. This is just my personal experience, but my life now is pretty beautiful. And it wasn't always this way. Things were pretty tough. And even saying that word beautiful is quite hard, because it sits with a new part of who I am, and it helps me to find a new part of myself, the part that wasn't really able to build relationships with people like I can now, the part that wasn't able to understand who I am in comparison to other people and how to love. That's hard. That's really hard to say. And your hero's journey is going to be very different to mine. The emotions, the difficulties, the challenges. You might be someone that has pretty perfect life, and I don't know, I don't want to suggest anything because I don't know who I'm talking to here. I don't understand your difficulties, but the difficulty, what I'm trying to say is your difficulty inside will be very different to my difficulty inside. And facing down your demons, getting inside of yourself, will take you to the other side of what you can't see. And it's a pretty special journey, because it's one that you have to take for yourself. Nobody can do it for you. So whatever emotion you're feeling, whatever meaning you're deriving from watching this video, it's a good thing. Sit with it, write about it, think about it. Why is it there? What does it mean? Was I missing something? You have the ability to ride your own trauma storm, and that can mean almost anything. Just dealing with the difficulty inside to realize who you truly are and live in a more authentic way that matches the way you are in this world. And understanding that, learning about that, finding that, and then accepting it is just a part of your story, and it's a part of your journey to becoming your full self, the person you can truly be. And the main point of this video is that it is hard, it is traumatic, it is extremely, sometimes dark, and very, very difficult processing this stuff out of your body. But out the other side comes yourself, comes the way you always could have been. And that is something pretty special.